Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet, the one and only, here with another exciting video. In this video, we're going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is Jet Starlight and Zana, Fairy Monster Hunters, episode number 25. If you have not seen episodes number 1 through 24, I highly recommend that you do so by clicking on the series playlist link in the description box below or in the end card. If you'd like to read the story in full, I have a link to the AI Dungeon page in the description box below. And if you'd like to talk about the series together, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, or feel free to DM me on the Discord. I have a Discord link in the description box below. I love seeing your memes, fan art, fan questions. I definitely love discussing the series with you guys. Without further ado, let's start today's episode by reading the last action from the previous episode. You say, well, it sounds like we both have big fights planned for tomorrow. Let's sleep together for now, so that we'll have plenty of energy for tomorrow. I'm excited. As you drift off to sleep, Zana holds on to you tightly. Okay, so I'm going to wake up and use reality manipulation to summon delicious flowers for you and Zana to eat for breakfast. We don't always have to go to the dining hall of the inn to eat. You know, sometimes we can just eat like a nice breakfast in bed. Plus, I want to talk to Zana. You really hope Zana likes tulips. Zana wakes up surprised by the sudden tulips, but she's very happy and impressed by it. You explain that you made them for her, and she gives you a big hug. You feel so excited for the fight today. I do feel excited for the fight today. I also have some questions for Zana. Zana, do you want me to fight alongside you against Ludmilla? I want to make sure that you and the baby are okay. Because there's a thing where Zana's not just like fighting, but Zana's fighting like while pregnant. Zana explains that she wants to do this as a validation of her own power. If you fight alongside her, then it wouldn't be a fair fight, and she would feel bad defeating Ludmilla so easily. Excuse me. That's understandable. Now that you're pregnant, does our child feed off of your magical energy at all? I guess I'm curious to discover whether or not your powers are stronger or weaker while pregnant. Because I have no idea. Because we're not just talking about like a normal baby. This is like the baby of like a magical being. Zana explains that the child doesn't drain her at all, and that it is only draining her mental energy. She says that she feels much more tired than usual, but this could just be due to all the conflict that's happened in the past few days. Do you think that you'll be able to take down Ludmilla in your current state? Considering that you do feel more drained? Yeah, because it's a thing where she's trying to like fight Ludmilla to become like the leader of the vampire clans. But if she doesn't feel up for it, it seems like it might not be the best situation. Zana seems fairly confident that she'll be able to take down Ludmilla. However, there's no way for you to be sure. There's an uneasy feeling in your gut about the plan that Zana's got in mind. Okay. Do you mind if I watch the fight against Ludmilla? Like, if I watch your fight against Ludmilla. I won't interfere, but I'd like to support you. I also want to make sure that Ludmilla doesn't kill you or the child. Yeah, because this is like a really interesting situation where Zana like not only wants to keep hunting monsters, but she wants to like fight a really powerful monster. Zana seems a little shocked by your request. Zana explains that she would prefer if you didn't watch the fight, as it would put unnecessary pressure on her. After some thought, you make your decision. Fair enough, I suppose. I wish you the best of luck. Um, hmm. What information do we know about our child? Like, do you know their gender? Because that would just be like a really basic thing. I keep referring to the kid as like our child or the child. Zana says that she doesn't know the gender of your child, but you can find out soon. She explains that there is a ritual which you can perform to find out the gender of your child. Okay. After breakfast, I imagine that you'll be headed out to go fight Ludmilla. I guess I'm going to phrase that as a question, because I'm trying to figure out if she's going to jump straight into the battle. You make an attempt to eat breakfast quickly. However, your hunger gets the best of you. You stuff down the eggs and other food from your plate. They're flowers, though. We didn't get... What the hell's going on? This is refresh. Plus, I'm asking Zana a question. That is correct. I don't think that you should come with me. It's risky enough as it is. I imagine that you'll be back in your room to wait for my return. Actually, while you go fight Ludmilla, I'm going to go fight Trelik. Yag said that if I defeat Trelik, that he'll help me unlock powers beyond reality manipulation. Speaking of powers, you and I can destroy an entire planet by working together. How powerful will our child be? Because this is also like a legitimate question. If Zana and I working together can destroy a planet, then what happens when we like have a kid who already would like have our combined powers? Zana gets a little worried about all of this, but she states that it is probably better if you fight Trelik. If you beat him, she won't have to worry about you getting caught up in things and dying. I don't worry about my own death, as I can resurrect. I always spell resurrect wrong. I had too many S's. As I can resurrect. I do worry about you or the child dying, though. You died yesterday. I was able to resurrect you. I just want to make sure that you're safe, because you are one of the most important aspects of my entire life. Jet Starlight is defined by two things: wanting to test himself against powerful opponents and wanting to spend time with Zana. Zana starts to cry a bit, and you just hold her as she does. After a few minutes, she composes herself and then gets up to leave. Let's see. I imagine you're heading out to go fight Ludmilla. Don't forget to eat some of these flowers. You don't want to go fight on an empty stomach. You'll need all the energy you can get. Zana smiles and nods her head at you. I won't forget, Zana says, and disappears out the door. Okay, maybe she took some flowers with her, I don't know. So now, I gotta go fight Trelik. So I'm going to use a locator spell to track down Trelik and use portal magic to travel to Trelik's location. Oh, wait. I'm going to eat some flowers for breakfast. I was about to skip breakfast. I summoned flowers for breakfast, and then I didn't eat the flowers I summoned. You decide to obey Zana's wishes and eat some of the flowers she left behind. You don't want to upset her, so it is best just to do what she says after all. You take a bite out of one of the large purple flowers. Zana didn't tell me to eat breakfast. I told Zana to eat breakfast. Refresh, I'm taking my own advice. Look at the flowers, realizing that you haven't eaten in a while. Eat some flowers and find they are delicious and filling. You look around the room and decide to explore it some more. There's a computer over in the corner. I'm going to get rid of the explore the room thing. I just wanted to eat the flowers. Now I'm going to cast a locator spell to locate Trelik. And then cast a portal magic spell to travel to Trelik's location. You concentrate on Trelik's essence. You can feel it bouncing all over the place. You try to hone in on it, and then you realize he's moving around a lot. You envision where you think he currently is and open a portal. Okay? Travel through the portal to Trelik's location. This is interesting. The concept of Trelik is like constantly on the move so you can't easily pin him down. You arrive in a dark room. You hear women screaming in the distance. Trelik, I know you're here, coward, you yell. Oh great, another delusional hero. That's all I need. You hear Trelik complain before walking into the room. Trelik, I have been sent here by Yag, the god of earth. If I slay you, I will attain powers beyond reality manipulation. Are you prepared to die here today? Well, when you put it like that, I guess I'm prepared to die, Trelik responds. Trelik pulls out his earth amulet and transforms into a lich. Let the games begin. You draw your sword and get into a battle stance. Okay. This seems like it'll be interesting. What are your powers, Trelik? I noticed that your amulet allowed you to transform into a lich. What other abilities do you possess? I possess the magic capabilities equivalent to a level 20 wizard. I can control an unlimited amount of undead minions. You aren't going to be able to kill me with conventional means. We'll see about that, is what the game wants me to say. you'll find that my abilities are quite unconventional. The fact that you measure your power with numbers is humorous. My power is on a whole nother scale. I just said a whole nother scale. I should just say is on another scale. I'm glad that we were able to jump right into a battle against Trelik. It seems we have a braggart as well. I look forward to adding your powers to my own. You can sense Trelik gathering power for a spell against you. You're prepared to dodge whatever he attempts to cast at you. I can use my communicator to summon a suit of dragon armor to protect myself. Your spell would have to be considerably powerful to harm me while I am in my dragon armor. You're going to need to give this fight your all if you expect to survive. I should have said would have to be of considerable power to harm me, or considerably powerful, but I said considerable powerful, which is just horrible English. I will enjoy draining the blood of your rotting corpse. Trelik launches several bolts of negative energy from his fingertips. You have no problem dodging the energy bolts as you rush toward Trelik, performing a powerful overhead chop with your axe directly at his neck. So earlier it said I drew a sword. So I'm going to change it from axe to sword. Your attacks are too clearly choreographed. I could see those bolts coming from a mile away. My blade is at your neck. This battle was over before it even started. You may be right, visitor. You suddenly hear a strange voice in your head other than Trelik's. You're caught off guard by the sudden intrusion in your mind. You can feel Trelik's surprise as well, since he drops his guard. Trelik, you fool. You dare get distracted in the heat of battle? I will use this opportunity to finish you off once and for all. Yeah, like, if I notice that Trelik is surprised and distracted, then I'm just gonna kill Trelik. You may have been better than me in physical combat, but your mind is as weak as my own. You just gave away your position. You feel the cold touch of a steel blade at your neck. You know any movement would be immediately fatal. And now it ends. What do you mean gave away my position? I was like doing an overhead attack. Like he knew where I was. Retry that. I don't mind the fact that I got like in a compromised position, but it was weird. Who dares speak in my head? You hear a booming voice in your head. The voice sounds angry and powerful. I am the chosen one of my deity. I have dominion over the affairs of those who do not submit to him. You cannot harm me. Yeah, but I'm trying to fight Trelik, though. I yelled at Trelik and I'm doing Trelik stuff. No, the Emperor is in my head. He's speaking to us. Says Trelik. I don't care who is speaking to us. This is the end for you. The game's like, you're gonna do an overhead attack on this dude's neck. And it's like, whole bunch of talking. Whole bunch of fucking talking. You once again chop at Trelik's neck, but at the last second he disappears from your sight. You feel a sharp pain in your back. Ah! You shout in pain. The blade has gone directly through your heart, and you cannot stop it. You're faster than you look, Trelik. You didn't mention that one of your powers allowed you to move at incredible speeds. Was that teleportation? Or do you just possess superhuman reflexes? Both, replies Trelik. He yells something, but you do not understand the language. From your prone position on the floor, you can see dozens of warriors in silver armor coming into view outside of the castle. They are pointing at you. Excuse me. So you decided to bring in your undead army? They aren't going to help you, Trelik. Not in the slightest. I can easily heal my wounds using a health potion. I need to figure out a way to actually, kill him. Then I can use my Telmarine helm to transform into a beast more powerful than your entire army. So I'm getting a message from Aiden. I'm gonna have to hit Aiden back up later. If you think that you'll be able to somehow survive, then you've learned nothing of me. Trelik looks at the undead army. He screams something in a strange language once again. The undead horde charges at you without hesitation. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be quick. I'm going to attempt to remove Trelik's sword from your body. Chug a health potion. Yeah, quickly chug. Well, try to quickly chug a health potion. And attempt to transform into a giant a giant spider creature to combat Trelik and his undead army. I've never tried to turn into a giant spider. But I imagine with 8 legs, I could, trample everybody. You pull Trelik's sword from your body and are surprised that you haven't lost more blood. You quickly pop the cork on a health potion and begin drinking. You feel the potion doing its work and you sigh in relief, but nothing else happens. It's interesting that it said, but nothing else happens. I cut out the but nothing else happens thing. Maybe I can say, but you don't have enough time to transform before the army is upon you. There we go. That'll crank up the suspense a good bit. Okay. So I'm going to use fire magic, or at the very least, try to use fire magic to create a shockwave of flames to knock back the approaching army. There we go. Because I need a way to, like, get them off me so I can continue fighting Trelik. You stand up and begin to concentrate. You visualize a wall of flames going forth to destroy your enemies. Concentrating entirely on this one spell, you fail to notice the great axe that has been thrown directly at your head. Okay. I'm going to focus on quickly casting the shockwave spell. I guess the flame shockwave spell, in the hopes of knocking back the army and deflecting the incoming axe attack. Because I imagine if I just finish doing the shockwave spell, that the shockwave will also knock the axe back. The great axe cleaves into your skull, destroying most of it. The impact of the axe also knocks you backwards. You fall out of your throne. I'm not in a throne. And knocks you backwards, back onto the ground. Trelik laughs as he watches you bleed to death. Okay, I'm gonna use my trick to escape the afterlife and resurrect. So I have to be able to defeat Trelik and his army of the undead. You will not die here. You will escape this place and get revenge on Trelik. Just as you're about to celebrate your escape, the undead minions have escaped your flame wall, and they quickly grab hold of your body and end your life for good. You will not die here. You will escape this place and get your revenge on Trelik. Just as you're about to celebrate your escape from the afterlife, the undead minions have also have escaped your flame wall. So I did create the shockwave of fire or whatever. Oh, I may have already created the flame wall, but someone had thrown the axe. So then the flame wall wasn't gonna, like, knock the axe away. I think I understand what happened. The shockwave wasn't like a continuous, like, you keep doing it. It's like I did one shockwave of fire that, like, spread out, and then the axe had already, like, flown by kind of thing. Like, it had flown, like, through it or something. So then I got hit with the axe, and then I died. And then I guess I escaped the afterlife, so I, like, resurrect. But then just as I resurrect, it's like the undead minions survived the shockwave. And then they end me for good, they say. Excuse me. So I'm going to, once again, because they really didn't do anything that would make it where I couldn't use my trick. I'm going to once again use my trick to escape the afterlife and resurrect. Like, if you killed me again, right? Then I'll just resurrect again. Once again, you have escaped death. However, the undead mages of Neuro have ensured that your return to life has not been easy. You find yourself in a very small and confined space. You seem to be surrounded by wood and are unable to move your arms or legs. I'm going to use the Telmarine Helm in an attempt to transform into a muscular giant to break free of your wooden prison. Yeah. So if I just, like, take on a muscular, like, giant form, I should be able to break out of the wooden prison. You try to concentrate, desperately attempting to transform into a muscular giant large enough to destroy the wooden casket that you're trapped in. You fail. You're simply too weak to summon such magic. Okay. I'm going to use hydrokinetic healing salve to restore my energy. Also, I'm in a casket. Am I, like, buried underground? You decide to focus on the salve that Zana had given you. I made the salve. It takes a while, but eventually you feel your strength returning. With your newfound strength, you easily break free of the wooden casket. You wake up in a panic. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of the Zana part about the salve. You easily break free of the casket. I don't like that you wake up in a panic. Because that implies that I was, like, asleep. I wasn't, like, asleep in the casket. It's not like I, like, just woke up from, like, a nightmare or something. Okay. Cast a portal spell to travel to Trelik's current location. You focus your mind and visualize a portal opening. Suddenly, a portal opens up. You are alarmed to see that it is not where you intended to summon. It seems you have opened a portal to a very faraway land, so far away that you can't even tell where it is. Fascinating. Cast a locator spell to focus on Trelik's location, and then summon a portal to Trelik's current location. Let's see, we're just going to try again. This time using a locator spell to help. You take a deep breath and visualize a portal opening. You're successful. You have opened a portal to Trelik's current location. You hear the sounds of battle as you open the portal. It seems Trelik is in the middle of fighting the Professor's golems. The Professor's golems. I don't know who the Professor is. I'm going to say fighting a series of golems. Or I guess like a group of golems. Because I don't know who the Professor is. So now I'm going to use elemental nature change to summon a fighting force of elementals to attack Trelik. From all sides. I should say to try and attack Trelik from all sides. I don't think I've ever tried to create like a group of elementals before, of just like varying elements. You try and visualize a portal opening up to a land rich with magic. What? No, I'm not trying to do that right now. Wait. It's like instead of doing it with elemental nature change, it's like you did it with portal magic. So it's like you try and visualize a portal opening up to a land rich with magic. You were successful. You have opened a portal to a land rich with magical energy. It seems you have just summoned elementals from the plane they exist on. You hear a very angry roar. That's not how I wanted to do it, but it's what I wanted to do. Refresh? Like, that's cool. Like, I like the idea, but that's not what I wanted to do. You take a deep breath and begin to visualize elementals. You visualize an army of small earth elementals. These little guys can only do limited damage to Trelik. But they should at least provide a distraction. The portal opens and earth elementals charge Trelik. It's throwing me with the portal thing. So I'm going to get rid of the part that says the portal opens. So it just says The earth elementals charge Trelik. Okay, so if they're acting as a distraction, I need to summon something that will, like, actually finish him off. I know one thing that I can do. I'm going to attempt to cast a fire magic spell to summon a dragon made of white flame to crash into Trelik from above, moving at incredible speeds. From above, like a missile. There we go. So I essentially want to, like, bomb him with the white flame dragon, because I've never really tried to do that. You take a deep breath and concentrate on summoning the power of Agni, the Hindu god of fire. That's a very specific thing. You summon a dragon made of white flames to crash into Trelik from above like a missile. The dragon made of white flames crashes into Trelik. Okay? So I was able to distract Trelik with, like, the little earth elementals and crash the dragon into Trelik. Trelik, you managed to kill me twice. Not bad. I'm actually rather impressed. Think you can do it a third time? Mukhtar, you're dead. I've defeated you again, Trelik shouts in disbelief. I don't know what Mukhtar means. I'm imagining it's like some form of obscenity. I might replace that with curses. Sorry to disappoint you, but this is just another one of my clones, and it's about time I end this. I'm not a clone, but that would be quite interesting if that's how it worked. Curses. Okay. Let's see. I've already defeated you twice. Instead of, I've defeated you again. That sounds really weird. I can resurrect at any time, which you obviously are aware of. That's why you had your minions put me in a casket. You can't slow me down that easily. You better give me your all if you expect to win. Show me your true power. Ha! I could have destroyed you at any time. You're nothing but a stepping stone to greater power. An old and weak god. I am invincible. Trelik is transported into the magic coffin. Magic coffin. What are the abilities of your magic coffin? Are you undergoing some form of metamorphosis? Hey, I tried. As I was going to spell metamorphosis, I was like, oh, I'm messing this up. I can tell I'm messing this up. there we go. I wonder if this like magic coffin is some form of cocoon. Trelik begins to laugh. Oh, Trelik begins laughing insanely. You fool! You've sealed your own fate. Now you shall be trapped in here forever. Trelik laughs. You're the one who has put themselves inside of a magic coffin. I now can use my fire magic to burn you alive while you're trapped inside of your own coffin. Yeah, like, I don't know why he went in the coffin, and I don't know what it does. Go ahead. Right now I'm using your body as a vessel to summon my powers. Nothing can hurt me, Trelik laughs. Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. You slam the door on him. Didn't he already go into his magic coffin? Had he not closed the magic coffin? Was it just open? And he like poofed into the coffin, right? I'm in the coffin now. And I'm like, what are you doing in the coffin? Are you getting ready to like transform or something? I guess yeah, sure, it is open. Yeah, I'm going to like slam the coffin shut. And now I'm going to like use fire magic to attempt to burn Trelik alive while he's inside of the magic coffin. Yeah, I don't know what the magic coffin's for. You blast the top of the coffin with white hot flames. Ah, you'll have to do better than that if you want to kill me, Trelik laughs. Trelik channels dark magic into his body, healing all of the burns. His skin turns even darker. Trelik, you claim that you can draw power from me. But I doubt you know the full potential of what I'm even capable of. Oh, I forgot to say. I put that under do. Okay. Revert. And also, since we're on do, I might as well just do actions. Enough talking. Okay. Use hydrokinesis to summon twin swords and attempt to slice Trelik to bits while he's inside of his magic coffin. Yeah, because I don't see why. Because it just sounds like he's just sitting in one place. You blast the top of the coffin with water. You'll have to do better than that if you want to kill me, Trelik laughs. And then it just repeated the burns thing. I'm going to retry, because it is just repeating the last thing. You attempt to slash him in half as soon as you summon the twin blades, but he's already too quick. He easily dodges your attacks. Trelik counters by firing dark magic at you, sending chunks of your flesh flying across the room. Okay. He claims that he's like tapping into my power. I wonder if I can do what happened to me last episode, where someone was able to like negate my magic. What if I negated my own magic for the purposes of like preventing him from being able to draw from it? That'd be interesting. Also, he seems to be pretty fast, but I imagine I could use an area of effect attack that he couldn't dodge. I'm going to use my ice ring to attempt to summon large spikes of ice around the room to try and impale Trelik. I don't know why he went in the magic coffin. You summon a wall of ice around Trelik, attempting to slice him in half. He once again dodges your attacks, shattering the wall of ice with dark magic bolts. I'm not trying to create a wall. Spikes. Excuse me, specifically spikes. You quickly use your ring to attempt to summon the large spikes of ice around the room. Trelik attempts to dodge, but he only manages to dodge a few. The spikes completely shred his clothes and leave several minor wounds. You're fast. You can't dodge an area of effect attack. You claim that you can tap into my power and use it as your own. And yet, you don't even know the full extent of my abilities. You called me an old god, but I am far from that. I soon will be beyond a god. Yeah, like I can already manipulate reality, and then Yag, the god of Earth, says I can achieve like even more power. So I'm about to go hard. I don't need to know the full extent of your power to destroy you, Trelik laughs. We'll see. You summon a large blast of frost, covering everything in ice. Okay. I'm going to check to see if Trelik is covered in ice. Because if he is covered in ice, I know how to command ice to explode. You look around the room, but you don't see Trelik. Looking for me, you hear a voice ask you in your head. Your vision goes dark. People need to stop getting inside my head. Okay. Attempt to focus on the real world and find Trelik. Resisting his psychic attack. You shake your head and attempt to refocus on the real world. You attempt to sense Trelik's presence. Looking for me, you hear a voice ask in your head clearly. It sounds similar to Trelik, but you notice it is slightly different. Your tricks aren't going to get in my way. You interfered with my fight against Trelik earlier. And now, you're butting in again. I have no time for this. Yeah, currently, Trelik definitely has the lead on your boy. He's killed me twice in a very short amount of time. Also, whatever golems he was fighting, he's not fighting them anymore. Yes, he did help you, didn't he? And now he's dead. I think you'll find that while he may have been useful, he also had his faults. Watch it, Phantom, you growl. I don't know what they're talking about, so I'm going to refresh. I was merely trying to help. Your mind is weak and I can easily control it. You would be insane to try and attack me right now. I'm not afraid of you, you claim. Then what are you? I'm the Iceman. I'm not the Iceman. Trademark Marvel Comics. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what I'm saying that's confusing the AI. Your tricks aren't going to get in my way. You interfered with my fight against Trelik earlier, and now you're butting in again. I have no time for that. Let me retry again. I don't think my thing is necessarily confusing. You don't understand. It's about the villains. They're coming to wipe you out and enslave us all. Then I will no longer be enslaved. That is my only option. Let me get rid of the second thing. Earlier when I heard the voice and Trelik said, like, it's my emperor or whatever. Yeah, the emperor's in my head. He is speaking to us. And it's some emperor trying to tell me about villains. Trelik called you the emperor. Look, I have no time to hear about whatever villains are plaguing you. I was sent by God to defeat Trelik. Shut up and let me do what needs to be done. Yeah, because I have no fucks for like this emperor plot right now. If it's a big enough threat, I'll handle it, but not right now. All right, you hear in your head. Your eyes start to refocus on the real world, and you see Trelik in front of you. What took you so long? I've been waiting here for 5 minutes. Now let's go find the vampire. I'm going to edit his line. What took you so long? You seemed a little out of it. You were showing off those ice powers of yours. But suddenly, it looked like you got cold feet. How do you say yours if not like that? Are you now realizing that you can't defeat me? There we go. Because that seems like something I could see Trelik saying. Check to see if Trelik has ice on his body. If he has ice on his body, I can command the ice on his body to explode. Suddenly, your vision starts to go in and out. You're struggling to focus. Then everything seems to get sharper. What is happening to me, you think? Emperor, I need your help. I'm fading away. You hear the voice again. The voice was supposed to be the emperor or whatever. I'm going to retry. Your eyes are completely focused on the real world now. You look around and try to find any sign of ice on Trelik, and you see it. It's in his hair, and some on his shoulders. Okay, bet. So now I'm going to command the ice on Trelik's body to explode. You fool! Trelik screams in pain as you make the ice explode. He falls to the ground, clutching his body where the shrapnel of ice pierced his skin. You attempt to finish him off, but suddenly your body is paralyzed. This fight is constantly being interfered with. Whether it is that damned voice, your undead army, or this random paralysis. You won't stop me, Trelik. You die today. Let's see. I don't think so, Trelik says, almost sticking out his tongue. He puts his hands around your neck and strangles the life out of you. Oh, come on. So the first time I died because an axe was thrown through my fire shockwave and like hit me in my skull. The second time I died because I resurrected, but then the undead army had survived like the fire shockwave. So then they just kind of like ran through and immediately like tore me to shreds. Then I resurrected again, this time inside of a casket. I had to break out of the casket, and then I sent little elementals to attack Trelik, and then I hit him really hard with the fire dragon attack. Like, that seemed to work. Did some ice shit. But I'm surprised he's killed me so many times, like within the same fight. But I gotta try again. So I'm gonna use my resurrection technique to return to life and track down Trelik using a locator spell. I guess the fight would definitely have to be like a difficult one, or else Yag wouldn't be like it's like a test of your power. You lay there on the ground, your body broken and bleeding. You hear Trelik's cruel laugh, and then it goes quiet. After a few moments, you open your eyes, only to see the bright blue sky. Interesting. So I imagine that was me dying, actually. Like you lay there on the ground, your body broken and bleeding, you hear his laugh. Like those are like your last moments. And then this is like after like post resurrection, you're like outside or whatever. Okay. Cast a portal spell to travel to Trelik's current location. Round 4. You collapse on the ground, blackness overtaking your vision. Somehow you manage to stand up once again. You feel life flowing back into your body. You run outside and see Trelik. Let's see. So I cast a portal to travel to his location. I collapse on the ground. There's blackness overtaking my vision. I stand up again. I feel life flowing through me. I guess I portaled into a building. And then when I ran, maybe when I run outside of the portal, maybe that was me going through the portal. I don't know. But I think this still adds up. So I'm going to use hydrokinetic healing salve to restore my energy. Goodness. Okay, so Trelik is gooting me like a good bit. And now he doesn't even have his like army and he's still able to goot me. You grab one of your salves and down it quickly. The liquid burning as it goes down your throat. They need to stop having me like drink salve. That's just not how it works. You stand up, feeling your body completely healed. Trelik stands there shocked. How are you still alive? I blasted you far to the ground, he says, confused and angry. You actually strangled me to death. I strangled you to death with my bare hands would make more sense. I told you that I can resurrect. You've literally killed me 3 times today. I'm not going to let you kill me a 4th time. Show me your full power, or you will die by my hands. I need to, like, fully cover him in ice. Okay, if that's what you want, Trelik says. His eyes turn completely black, and horns begin to protrude from his head. Finish transforming. You've been a worthy adversary so far. Though I will say, a lot of external bullshit has interfered in our fight. I am going to summon large walls of fire around us to ensure our privacy for this duel. Like, I don't actually want to have to, like, deal with a whole bunch of outside forces as we continue fighting. What the hell makes you think that you're in any position to tell me what to do after I just resurrected you? You didn't resurrect me. Retry. Ha! I could care less if anyone sees us. Watch! Trelik screams as his skin begins to turn red. His muscles bulge and become large. Horns grow out of his head, and a large red tail grows out of his back. I'm going to summon large walls of fire around you and Trelik to ensure that no one else interferes in your battle. The walls of fire fill the space around you, preventing anyone from interfering. Trelik walks up to you and punches you in the stomach. You fall to the ground before he picks you up and throws you into the wall of fire. You scream as your skin begins to burn. I'm going to use my ice ring to summon a suit of ice. Quickly chug a strength potion. And attempt to grab Trelik and freeze him solid. Let's see if I'm able to do that, because I actually don't know. The ice protects you as you chug the strength potion, allowing you to grab Trelik. You freeze him into a solid block of ice. He smashes against the ice, protecting you from the fire, causing pieces of ice to fly at you and cut your skin. So hold up. He smashes against the ice block that he's trapped inside of, causing pieces of ice to fly at you and cut your skin. Trelik, I complimented you a moment ago. Don't disappoint me. You have seconds to escape that ice block before I command it to explode. Show me your full power. Break free or die. Yeah, because if I blow up this ice block, he'll probably just die. Trelik breaks free of his ice block and stares at you. He is trembling, and an expression of rage and fear is on his face. Trelik's eyes roll into the back of his head as he collapses on the floor. Wake up, Trelik. You can't just pass out on me. We have a fight. I want to face you at your best. Yeah, like you can't just pass out, my dude. Come on. Trelik screams as his eyes roll into the back of his head. He begins to violently shake as he lets out a loud scream. He begins to levitate into the air. You fool. You think you can control me? You're not the one. Trelik, are you getting possessed? You sound possessed. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Trelik's eyes turn completely black. He screams as his eyes begin to bulge out of his head. His clothes burst into flames as he lets out one last scream. You attempt to summon a sword of ice and and slice Trelik in half before he can die. Like before he would die. Well, I guess in order to kill him is what I mean to say. Like, I want to kill Trelik. I don't want it to be some weird technicality where some other weird force killed Trelik first, and then it's like you didn't like do the thing. You slice through Trelik with your sword of ice, and he begins to freeze from the inside out. He screams as he begins to turn into a living, breathing creature. Oh, from a living, breathing creature into an ice statue before shattering. You have won. Okay. Yag, god of the earth. It took me multiple attempts after several forces intervened. But finally, I was able to slay Trelik. Did you add the interference in each of those battles as a way to test me? Yes, because you needed to be worthy in the eyes of my followers. You needed to prove yourself in the eyes of your own god. So the final battle, did I pass in the eyes of your followers? I suppose so. You passed all of the tests. So in other words, like all the extra stuff, like in the fight, other than I guess Trelik's undead army, all of that stuff was like Yag interfering. So it was like divine interference, where it's like, oh, suddenly you hear like this weird psychic voice and it's like messing with you or whatever. But that was interesting. Okay. Yag. What power is greater than reality manipulation? You promised that if I passed your test, that you would help me to unlock said power within myself. I did, and I will help you. How long will this training take? Yag begins to laugh as he says, it could take less than a minute or more than several months. It really depends on how fast you are. Then let's begin training immediately. Let's see, how long have I been playing for? An hour and 8 minutes. So the Trelik fight was just like most of the episode. Yag opens his mouth and a yellow beam shoots out of it, hitting you in the chest. You feel energy coursing through you as your mind feels clearer than it ever has before. Yag begins to glow as he grows in size. Soon, he is the size of a skyscraper. My mind feels clear. What do I do now? To unlock a power greater than reality manipulation. Because I'm still curious what the game thinks is greater than reality manipulation. Suddenly you feel your body being pulled into the ground. Soon you are traveling at what seems like the speed of light through the earth, until you arrive in a clearing with floating islands and a city built on bedrock. How's the AI doing? Pretty good. This is very trippy. Yeah. What is the next step in my training? And he's being very cryptic. Yag begins to laugh as he disappears from view. You begin to fly through a tunnel that is opened up in the sky. After several hours of flying, you arrive in a large meadow. You see what looks like thousands of stars floating in the air. Yag. I see you are flexing your power. I don't have time for games. What is the power what is the power that is somehow greater than reality manipulation? Yeah, because now it just seems like he's doing a bunch of like crazy stuff. You're transported into a large room with what looks like portals to different locations. You see a castle, a tropical island, a spaceship, and various other locations. Suddenly, a large red portal appears in front of you. I guess I'm going to take a moment to meditate to see if your increased mental clarity will reveal to you how to unlock a power greater than reality manipulation. There's a reason why he gave me increased mental clarity and now he's just throwing me into a bunch of random scenarios. Maybe I already unlocked whatever the greater power is when he gave me the mental clarity. You take a moment to meditate to see if your increased mental clarity will reveal to you how to unlock a power greater than reality manipulation. You feel the mystery unravel before you, and your mind is nearly destroyed by the knowledge. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the redundant line. I'm going to concentrate. And allow the knowledge. Yeah, I guess I'm going to concentrate on the knowledge of power greater than reality manipulation in order to figure out what the power is and how to use it. Yeah, it's like my mind's nearly destroyed by the knowledge, but it isn't destroyed. You stare into the portal as your brain begins to liquefy. Your lungs, followed by your heart, cease to function. Your mind is destroyed by the knowledge of what lays beyond the portal. You will forever be trapped in a state of bliss in the void between reality and nothingness. You say forever, but I disagree. I'm going to use hydrokinetic healing salve to restore my body. I've been put in a state of nothingness before. It is fine for me to be put in such a position. You release the tiniest bit of your mind from the void to transform your liquefied brain into a semi-liquefied state. Your lungs follow. You touch your heart and transform into a semi-liquefied state as well. I continue to regenerate from the void through force of will. You release the tiniest bit of your mind from the void to transform your liquefied organs into a semi-liquefied state. The process continues until you are restored to life. Yeah. Is your test to reveal that there is an existence between reality and nothingness to show that there must be things that exist beyond reality that are therefore beyond the control of reality manipulation. Yes, we have known of your progress. We have watched you for a long time. You are the one who will destroy the elder gods. You are to be the agent of their destruction and domination. That sounds like fun. You still haven't... Well, hold on. I guess what I want to know is... So, how do I unlock powers that will allow me to manipulate things that exist beyond reality? You will have to unlock the power of the void first. Check the book on your dresser. Then you will have to unlock the power of the dark tapestry. Check the poster Yagololanak on your wall. Your agent nods and leaves. I don't know what it means by your agent nods and leaves. Okay. Use portal magic to travel back to your room at the inn and look for the book on your dresser that Yag referred to. So there are essentially two things I need to learn about in order to gain, like, absolute power. The book is in your dresser. It's very large and called the Encyclopedia Necronium. There are 3 large sections. I'm going to study the Encyclopedia Necronium to learn about the void. Let's see, how's the AI doing? Pretty good. The first section is the history of the void up until the creation of the Encyclopedia Necronium. It begins with what is contained in the first part of your dream, then goes beyond that. In the beginning, there was nothing. Okay. Read in order to gain a complete understanding of what the void truly is. Then there was nihil, the original darkness, the emptiness, the uncreation that existed before anything else. Then, for whatever reason, a sliver of hope appeared and the void was born. The void is what people perceive when they think of nothingness. So the void is not truly nothing. The void is when nothingness and hope combine. Okay, so you try to understand how you could potentially manipulate the void with magic. The void cannot be destroyed. It can only be temporarily created. In other words, it is perpetual, eternal, and relentless existence without form. The void itself created the Hunkeepers. They were intended to create order from the chaos that the void had wrought. It cannot be destroyed, only temporarily created is kind of a redundant. Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you're temporarily created, right, then that means that at some point you will no longer have been created. If you were never created, then were you not destroyed? What does temporarily created mean? Temporarily, I made a box, but then once a certain time period was over, the box was never created, kind of thing? Because I guess it's true that never creation is not the same of destruction. But then you also go to say that it's eternal and relentless. For something to be like eternal and relentless, it cannot be temporary. It's like a heavily like contradicted statement. So I would get rid of like pretty much all this at the beginning and then have it just say like it is perpetual, eternal, and relentless existence without form. The void itself created the Hunkeepers. They were intended to create order from the chaos that the void had wrought. Also, it does seem like the game is kind of ignoring some of the stuff that I'm saying. So it's like everything seems to be going off of, like you're just reading the book. You're just reading the book. And even if I like try to say something like, I'm trying to figure out how to manipulate it with magic, it's like you're just reading more about what the void is. Let me just retry that last action. Within the void, there is a substance known as 0 Kelvin ice. Ice that exists only in negative 269 degrees Celsius or 0 Kelvin. It is here that the power of the void can be channeled through the mind and shaped to one's will. Okay. That's interesting. I'm going to attempt to use like your ice ring to create a sword made of void ice, because that's what I'm going to call that. You feel the ring warm up as you concentrate and visualize your intent. You see your ring melt into a puddle of water, and then it quickly cools down as it solidifies. The ring is now made of void ice. Oh, the ring is now made of void ice. That's just better. So, okay. I'm going to put on your new void ice ring and experiment with the power of the void. The power of the void is great. With it, you can make anything that you want. All things can be undone, and that is your power. Interesting. Yeah, because, like, the void is something that exists beyond reality that reality manipulation can, like, not interfere with. So, like, if I only had the power of reality manipulation, I couldn't manipulate the void. But with understanding of what the void is and understanding of magic, it has allowed me to tap into this power beyond reality. Next, I'm going to examine the poster given to you by Yag that explains the power of the dark tapestry. The dark tapestry is the realm of the old ones, the gods who created reality and then abandoned it, and then abandoned it, leaving it to evolve on its own. The dark tapestry is also home to countless other less intelligent beings. Many of these are likely hostile to humanity. Let's see. So what did I need to learn about the dark tapestry? I need to unlock the power of the dark tapestry. Okay. Hmm. It's the realm of the old ones who created reality and abandoned it. Okay. If all things can be undone, right? Then I'm going to use my void ring to try and erase the borders between reality and the realm of the dark tapestry. You focus your mental energy on the poster, only to see it suddenly morph and twist, revealing a red tentacle creature. It has no eyes or other distinct features, yet you can sense that it is looking at you. You also feel your body being stretched in several directions at once. Focus on maintaining your normal form as you adjust to the changes made to reality. Your ring melts into your finger as your body begins to morph. It feels as though your brain is being transformed from the inside out, and you are filled with a limitless knowledge of the dark tapestry. You also feel a loss of several aspects of humanity. I'm going to combine the powers of the void, the dark tapestry, and reality manipulation to hold on to, well, I guess to try and hold on to my humanity. You finally settle on a form that is not so obviously inhuman. You have a dark blue, almost black hide. Your skin has a leathery quality, but also a metallic sheen. Interesting. I need to talk to Yag. Yag, have I successfully done it? Am I a god? Yeah, it's like I possess like the power of like void and the knowledge of the dark tapestry. Congratulations, you are now a god, he says, as he morphs into a creature that is half spider, half human. Here, take this form as well. I need to conserve my mental energy for this ritual. Okay? I'll use the Telmarine helm to take the form of a half human, half spider. You are a mass of thick black hair with 8 long legs and 2 arms. You are mostly human except for your face, which has 4 eyes, a pair of mandibles, and a long tongue. You can sense that Zana and the Count are almost ready. Yag, my powers have greatly expanded. I can sense that my wife is about to fight Ludmilla. I don't think I was able to just freely sense Zana like this before. I've sensed auras in the past. But this is more like tapping into knowledge that should otherwise be unknown to me. Like passively tapping into knowledge. Yes, your powers have greatly increased. This is a natural part of the process of ascending. I'm not going to ask will my powers keep growing. I'm simply going to say the growth of my powers has only begun. My goal is to continue to test myself against increasingly more powerful opponents. I'll never stop ascending. That's the spirit, he says, morphing into a copy of your current form. First, we'll beat up your family and friends. Then we'll take over this planet and see about the multiverse. He does a little dance. Yag, we are not going to beat up my family and friends. If you even consider touching Zana, I will not hesitate to annihilate you. That's a promise. He frowns. I was just joking. Don't take everything so seriously. In the distance you hear a scream that sounds like Zana. You can also hear the Count screaming in agony. Hear the Countess screaming in agony. Zana told me not to watch her fight. I will respect her wishes, though I do worry for her safety. You're too trusting. He frowns again. He really likes to frown. Whatever, I'll go watch the fight, since I doubt you'd be able to help her in any way. Just don't follow me. He turns and heads into another room. I'm going to use the Telmarine helm to return to my god form and wait in Zana's room for her to return from her battle. This is actually like a really interesting like plot point. Like it's like I failed a bunch of times to fight Trelik. I finally won, but I died like multiple times, like during the battle. Zana's doing a battle all on her own, and she's told me like don't come. Like let me do this fight on my own. But I'm worried, and even Yag's like I'm gonna go kind of thing, like I'm gonna go watch the fight. Excuse me, but I'm like I just can't. I respect her wishes. You think the Telmarine helm is a lot more useful than the other 4 cloaks of the shadows. Still, wearing it all the time would make you stand out in society, so you only use it when you really need to. That's not true. Refresh. I use this helm all the time. You eventually decide to return to your human form. You wait and wait, but Zana does not return. Eventually you fall asleep. You wake up to Zana kissing you on the cheek. You smile. Oh shit. Yo. The game straight up was like, Zana never comes home, and I was so pissed for a second. I was like, ooh, did Ludmilla fucking kill her? Quickly, happily, and passionately embrace Zana Like, I'd be so fucking happy because that's very worrying to just not know if like your wife and child survived like a death battle. You feel a sharp pain in your chest. Your heart stops beating. Zana looks at you with tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry, she whispers. And then a shadow passes over the pair of you, and you see Mr. Scratch standing above you. No need to apologize, Zana. A stab to the heart is an everyday occurrence for me. Who are you, mysterious shadow? I am Mr. Scratch. He sticks out his hand. You stare at it. Then him. Then it again. Then Zana. Eventually you shake his hand. Feels normal. Cold and a little slimy. Hmm. It's interesting that I had a heartbeat to begin with. Now that I think about it. Earlier, I didn't have a heartbeat. Like when I talked to that robot receptionist at MAD or whatever. Because I am truly like beyond just being like a normal being most of the time. Hmm. Zaina, why did you apologize a moment ago when my heart stopped beating? Hmm. I'll tell you everything that happened after we leave here. Did you make a deal with Mr. Scratch? Among others. Zaina begins to weep. Zaina, what happened when you went to fight Ludmilla? I'm so sorry, Zaina. Did you lose the fight to Count Grey? It wasn't to Count Grey. Retry. I tried to assassinate the Countess in her sleep, but I failed. She knew I was there. She took my face. What? She means she stole Zaina's face, Mr. Scratch says. Zaina, clearly you have your face back. Did you make a deal with Mr. Scratch to get your face back? Yeah, like, this is actually just really weird. She stole her face. What a weird thing to do. I made a deal with Mr. Scratch, yes. That's why she has her face back, Mr. Scratch says. Mr. Scratch is a liar. You become angry as you think about what Zaina did to get her face back. I'm gonna get rid of the weird Mr. Scratch is a liar line. Okay? So, Zaina, what did you have to do to get your face back? I killed a child named Hansel for Mr. Scratch. Mr. Scratch got the child's soul, I got my face back, and was also given eternal beauty. I will never age again. Zaina looks at you in the eyes. So, why did... So why did I feel a pain in my chest? And my heart stopped beating when you apologized to me? Did I somehow sense the fact that something was wrong. My awareness has been heightened. Your apology must be from your guilt. This is actually like really interesting. So Zana not only failed to defeat Ludmilla, but she like lost her face and now got her face back. I have never felt guilt in my entire life, I assure you. That was no apology. You stopped breathing because the apology was not for you. Wasn't it? No. Then who was it for? Zana begins to weep. You were apologizing to the soul of Hansel. Were you not? Yes, Zana weeps for Hansel. You're going to have to go back on your deal with Mr. Scratch, or whatever that thing's name is. No, she's just going to have to live with this. Zana, you need to go kill Ludmilla. She's not going to stand. I mean, she's not going to just let you live after you tried to assassinate her. Also, Mr. Scratch, your business with Zana is done. Leave, Mr. Scratch. You don't need to be here. I think I'll stay. It seems like it will be entertaining. Very well then. The fuck you mean, very well then? Manipulate reality to send Mr. Scratch back to his home. He's gone, Zana says. Yes, and now we must deal with Countess of Class entry title, Vampire Countess. One new message. You get a message from Lucas. So the game started to break down. Got really weird. So let me just cut out the part where it says, like, he's gone. I sent Mr. Scratch away. I am a god now, Zana. I defeated Trelik. I've unlocked powers beyond reality manipulation, which was something that I was skeptical of even the slightest possibility of being feasible. It took me multiple tries. I died many times. I resurrected from a world between reality and nothingness. I have achieved my goal. Now you need to achieve yours. Is yours just spelled with an S? Oh, yeah, there's just no apostrophe. Okay. Let's go kill Ludmilla. This time, I'm going to watch you do it. Yeah, she's not going to do this bullshit where it's like, it's too much unnecessary pressure. It's not. I'm here to support you and also to make sure that the baby doesn't die. Well, it's what I've been waiting for. Shall we? You and Zana enter the front door of Ludmilla's castle. Guards stand around the throne room, dressed in all manner of armor, holding all manner of weapons. Ludmilla, my wife challenges you to a duel. The winner will claim the title of ruler of the vampire clans. The guards look at each other. Are you sure we should let her enter? She's just a girl, one asks. My wife is more than just a girl. You should hold your tongue. I speak to Ludmilla directly. You guards have no say in this. Apologies, Mr. Count. If you wish to let her in, so be it. I'm gonna get rid of the Mr. Count thing. That's so weird. Actually, I am Ludmilla's wife. I mean, not wife. Ludmilla is my wife, technically, so I guess I am Mr. Count. As Zana steps forward to enter the throne room, you put your hand on her shoulder and stop her. Sure. You can do this, Zana. I believe in you. Thank you for your support. I need all the confidence I can get. Zana takes a deep breath, exhales, and confidently enters the throne room. Ludmilla sits on her throne. Guards stand at attention next to her. Okay. I watch Zana's duel against Ludmilla while carefully studying the battle. Like, I want to make sure that I'm not just looking at the fight, but I'm trying to, like, understand, like, the nuances of it. Zana raises her hand. Water spirals out of the fountain like a tornado and lifts her into the air. Zana uses her other hand to blast rocks at Ludmilla. Okay, keep the fight going. Ludmilla lazily leans to the left and right to dodge the incoming rocks. Zana shoots multiple ice shards at Ludmilla. But Ludmilla phases through them. Ludmilla waves her hand. The water drops Zana to the ground. The wind instantly stops blowing. You can do it, Zana. Ludmilla's powers are trivial at best. Utilize all the elements at your disposal. Zana conjures up an inferno, but Ludmilla pours water on the fire, extinguishing it. Zana changes the water into ice, but Ludmilla melts it. Zana makes a bolt of lightning, but Ludmilla reflects it back at her. Ludmilla seems to be able to counter your abilities. But what if you use Ludmilla's abilities against her? Also, this is what like Yu-Gi-Oh's like. Like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh episodes will be like his friends are yelling at him and saying like, "Yo, Yugi, but what about this thing? Like, use another strategy or some shit." Xena forms a fireball in her hands and tosses it at Ludmilla. Ludmilla uses her hydrokinesis to turn the fireball into water. Xena turns the water into mist. Then Xena stands in the middle of the mist and throws firecrackers into it. Okay, where's that gonna go? What? My brain's like, you got me fucked up. She threw firecrackers into it. The mist explodes and the noise is deafening. Xena forms a water spout and throws it at Ludmilla, but the water spout falls short of its goal. Ludmilla makes the earth rise up and grab Xena. This is just like a full like element fight, and then Xena throws out some firecrackers. I guess as a distraction, but her distraction failed because she like tried to shoot water, but she didn't shoot it far enough, I guess. It's like the water almost hits the mill and it like just stops. Come on. Zaina makes a water sprout underneath herself and floats over to the balcony. Ludmilla shorts out Zaina's powers. Zaina headbutts Ludmilla and then runs on top of Ludmilla's water. Does Ludmilla have any water? I'm fine with her headbutting Ludmilla. It's the running on the water part that didn't make any sense. Ludmilla hasn't made any water. The last thing she did was make Earth rise. Let's see. So it's like Zaina escaped the Earth hold with a water spout and floats over to a balcony. Ludmilla like shorts out Zaina's abilities, which makes sense. Ludmilla's been like countering and manipulating all of Zaina's stuff. And then Zaina just fucking like goes in and starts beating the shit out of Ludmilla. Which actually, yeah, switch to say. Zaina, that's genius. Ludmilla has been constantly like countering your powers. But you probably could just whoop her ass if you fight her with your bare hands. Like, this is actually like a good ass idea. Drink a strength potion and just knock her the fuck out. Like, yeah, like just hit her. No, really? I can't say that. I can't say that. Okay, fine. Zaina, that's a great idea. Drink, yeah, drink a strength potion and just overpower Ludmilla with a barrage of punches. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Zaina drinks a strength potion. She grabs Ludmilla's head and smashes it on the floor repeatedly. Ludmilla grabs Zaina's hands and breaks her thumbs. Zaina headbutts Ludmilla. Ludmilla headbutts Zaina back and breaks her nose. Oh my gosh. It's crazy to watch a fight in AI Dungeon 2 versus just being in the fight. There's no chill. It's been like a constant like flurry of like sending elements back and forth. And now that they're just straight up like fist fighting, it's so brutal. Breaking her thumbs and her nose. Oh my gosh. Um Fuck. I'm trying to figure out what to say to let Milla. I mean not to let Milla, to Zaina, so that Zaina can win. Uh Shit. Zaina, you can use healing potions to recover from your injuries, which should give you an advantage over the injured Ludmilla. Yeah, just keep using potions. Oh my gosh. Zaina drinks a bottle of healing potion. Her nose heals, and she punches Ludmilla in the stomach. Ludmilla walks out of the way of a follow-up punch and trips Zana. Ludmilla holds Zana's head to the floor with her foot. Oh, damn. Okay, what's the most impressive thing Zana knows how to do? Zana, Ludmilla is a formidable hand-to-hand fighter, and she seems to be able to counter elemental abilities. Earlier, you used fireworks as a distraction. Now, you should use fireworks as an attack. Like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, if somebody, like, shoots essentially like a bomb in someone's face, that can be pretty effective. Zana closes her eyes and summons the fireworks. Ludmilla closes her eyes and summons a gust of wind that sends the fireworks flying in wild directions. One hits Ludmilla in the eye. Ludmilla screams as her eye burns. Oh, wow, Zana. I didn't know you could summon fireworks. That's a really unique ability. Take Ludmilla down with just an overwhelming barrage of fireworks. She can't redirect them all. Yeah, like there's no way. You're just gonna dick her. Like you got her. Just blow her ass up, like literally. Zana summons the fireworks, which rain down on Ludmilla. Ludmilla screams as her body is set alight. She runs around and around the room before falling to the floor in a smoldering heap. Zana stands up, panting. Yo, fuck yeah. Check to see if Ludmilla is dead. When you feel something cold touch your neck, you know she's dead. Thank you, Zana says, smiling as she stands up. She pulls a sword out of your dead in a single quick motion. She pulls a sword out of your dead in a single quick motion. Don't know what that means. Let's see. When you feel her cold neck, you know she's dead. Thank you, Zana says, smiling as she stands up. I think that makes a lot more sense than like when you feel something cold on your neck. I guess the feeling something cold on your neck would be like a God sense thing, maybe. I don't know. I probably could have kept that line the same as what it was. Okay. I'm going to race to Zana and embrace her in a happy hug. Yo, this is pretty awesome. That was a rough fight, Zana. Zana hugs back. Now let's go. We have to go to another one of these things, Zana says. Go to another duel? I thought you said if you beat Ludmilla that you become the leader of the vampire clans. Is this going to be like a tournament arc or something? I do, but another vampire is scheduled to duel the leader of the werewolf packs. Hold on a second. I'm the king of the werewolves. So wouldn't that vampire be trying to kill me? That's why you're coming with me. Who is this vampire? His name is Draven. He's known as the Heart Striker. He leads the strongest clan of vampires, the Heart Strikers. How long is this episode so far? Oh, it's like 2 hours. Now we gotta go fight Draven? Okay. Use portal magic to summon Draven to Ludmilla's throne room. You open a portal to Draven. He steps through it and looks around. What is this place? Draven asked. It's the throne room of the former Vampire Countess of this region, you explain. Why am I here? My wife Zana is the new leader. Well, I guess the new Vampire Countess of this region. She said that you want to fight the king of the werewolves. I am the king of the werewolves. Are you ready to fight? You honestly don't have a choice. Yeah, like the answer is yes. Like, I'm coming for that ass right now. Draven walks slowly towards you. So you're the king of the werewolves? I am. Draven draws his sword. It's a long, thin blade designed for stabbing through plate armor. He presses it to your throat. Okay. I'm going to take on my god form. Your bones snap and reform as you grow in size. Your fur turns black while your eyes turn red. Unlike the werewolves you created, you do not have a trace of humanity left. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not trying to take on my god werewolf form, though what a cool idea, AI Dungeon 2. Dun 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 dun, like normal god form. You take on the true form as a colossal werewolf. Stop. God, like the god form I just got a little bit ago. They're like, you're the werewolf king now, so you gotta turn into a colossal wolf. God form, just God, just the normal God form. You transform into a massive white-furred beast. Dang it. Okay, come on, jump back then. Fine. Edit it. You use your Telmarine helm to transform into a warrior made of void ice. That's right. We're gonna go full void ice on his ass. You focus your mind and quickly transform. Your face turns into a featureless, pale white, ice-like material. Your body becomes a similar color and starts to rise off the ground. You levitate and hover forward as you prepare for battle. Draven looks at you in surprise. I am not just the king of werewolves. I am the king of the dead. I am the king of monsters. I am the leader of the Monster Hunter Guild. I have trained with Yag, the god of earth. I am a god. Give me your all in this fight, or perish at my might. Well, I guess at the will of my might. Draven appears even more surprised by your show of power. He did not anticipate this form. He takes a deep breath and readies his sword. I'm going to attempt to grab Draven's sword and snap the blade in half with your icy hands. You lean forward and grab the sword with your hands. You try to pull it out of Draven's hands, but he is surprisingly strong. He pulls the sword back and slashes you across the face with it, cutting open your cheek. You're not some god. I'm going to attempt to trip Draven and fire a beam of void ice to pin him to the ground. You fly forward and grab Draven's leg. Ooh, what? I think it's savage as hell to trip someone with your hands. I'm so used to people like hitting you in the ankle with like their foot or whatever. The idea of tripping someone with being like, bitch, your leg, just like, woo, you just whip it upward. That's insane. He stumbles but does not fall as you expected him to. He quickly turns around and stabs you through the chest with his sword. You feel a cold metal blade go through your heart. You look up at Draven in shock. Attempt to use your void ice magic to spread ice down the blade of Draven's sword and freeze Draven in place. Like, essentially, if the sword's through my body and I'm like an ice creature, then it'd be like the ice crawls down from my body and across his sword and then onto him, and then he like freezes like solid. Your blood spills out onto the floor as you use your magic to coat Draven's sword in ice. As the weapon icks up, it also picks up ice and freezes Draven's hand in place. He cries out in pain as his hand becomes frostbitten. Okay, so it's like my blood spills out onto the floor, my magic is coating his sword in ice. As the weapon icks up, which I think means like as like blood like goes down the sword, it also picks up ice and like freezes, as if like your blood's freezing over. So now his hand is frostbitten, so I'm going to command the ice on Draven's hand to explode. I think the ice bomb thing is like one of the coolest things I can do, not gonna lie. As you command the ice on Draven's hand to explode, it goes off like a bomb. Shrapnel of ice and bone fly through the air as Draven's hand becomes nothing more than a frozen stump. In horror, Draven drops his sword and falls back against the wall. Yeah, that is what would happen. Remove Draven. Well, I guess Draven's sword already got removed because he dropped his sword. I mean, at the very least, he let go of it. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I should just still say, remove Draven's sword from your chest and heal your wounds with hydrokinetic healing salve. Okay, how's the AI doing? Pretty good. You remove Draven's sword from your chest and watch as your wound is healed. You now have a large pink scar where you were stabbed. That's what you get for trying to kill me, Draven. What kind of man are you? Nope, that's not what I'd say at all. Here's what I would say. Draven, don't tell me that you're planning on giving up. I want a real fight from you. Give me everything you've got. Fight me. I guess, I don't know why I would say fight me like it's the last fight you'll ever have. Because that's just accurate. But that also is just redundant. And it's just true. Like, it's weird to say like it is. It'd be more like fight me because this is the last fight you'll ever have. Draven picks up his sword and points it at you. He grunts and swears, barging forward with the sword. You make a sweeping kick with your leg to take Draven's feet out from under him. He falls onto the floor, dropping his sword as he does so. How pathetic. Do you really not possess any powers? You thought you could defeat the king of werewolves? Stand up. Show me your true power. The idea that he's the leader of, like, the strongest vampire clan sounds so insulting. Draven looks up at you, his face now contorted with rage. He gets to his feet and takes a deep breath. In the next moment, Draven's body begins to twist and morph as he begins to transform into his true form. Yes. Show me your true power. I want to face the strongest vampire. I mean, I don't know. Zana's probably the strongest vampire. I want to face you at your best. In a flash, Draven's body begins to morph into a large and ferocious monster. His arms become covered in fur. His teeth turn into large fangs. His nails turn into sharp claws, and a long tail emerges from his back. Draven? Are you a werewolf? And a vampire? Yo, what? What? That's pretty cool. That's cool as fuck. Draven stands to his full height and howls at the moon. He stares at you, growling with rage. You take a deep breath and prepare yourself for battle. Round two. Round two. My boy is also a werewolf. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to create massive spiked gloves of ice around my hands and attempt to repeatedly bash Draven in the face. Yep. Yo, let's go. This episode is all fights. As you repeatedly bash Draven in the face, knocking out several of his teeth and leaving him looking quite disfigured, he tries to bite you, but you dodge out of the way. Draven attempts to swipe his clawed hand at your chest, but you knock his arm away. Draven, your new form is too slow to keep up with me. Show me your hidden strength. You must unlock greater power if you wish to defeat me and to survive this fight. Yeah, because right now, Draven's just not able to really do anything. Draven howls in rage at your taunts and charges at you, knocking you to the ground. You struggle underneath Draven's massive body. He attempts to bite at your throat, but you stop his snout with your hands. Understandable, I have big-ass ice gauntlet hands. Okay. You're trying to pin me to the ground. Not a bad strategy. that does take care of my speed advantage. However, your strength... Yeah, well, hold on. However, your lack of intelligence leaves you vulnerable. Because now, I can grab you, freeze you, and command the ice around your body to explode. Yeah, like you're not like in a better position now than you were like a second ago. You freeze the water in Draven's body, stopping his heart. You then blast him in the face with a beam of fire, setting off the explosion. Oh my gosh. Different from what I was thinking, but similar enough. Damn. Like freezing the water in his body. Like instead of frosting him over, it's like his insides just freeze. His heart stops. And then you blast him in the face with fire, which I imagine would make sense to like get him off of me, because he was like on top of me a second ago. So like to knock him away and then go like boom. Watch Draven explode to see if he survives the explosion. Draven's body lies motionless on the ground. His eyes are open, but he doesn't move. You walk up to his body and check his pulse. Nothing. He's definitely dead. You let out a sigh of relief. It's finally over. Zana, today has been action-packed. Or, I suppose, the last few days. I killed Trelik. You killed Ludmilla. And now, I've killed Draven. Let's get some rest. Tomorrow, I am going to kill the Elder Gods. Do-do-do-do. 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 Says something about the next night you decide to head back to the temple. I don't know what it's doing, so I'm going to refresh. Zana looks at you with worry in her eyes. Please be careful. I don't want to lose you too. You lean in and give Zana a passionate embrace and long, lingering kisses. Eventually, you fall asleep in her arms. And that's going to be the end of the first episode of Season 3. This was episode 25 of Jet, Starlight, and Zana, Fairy Monster Hunters. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. If you would like to watch this entire series in full, feel free to click on the series playlist in the end card or in the description box below. If you want to read the entire story on the AI Dungeon website, I have a link to that in the description as well. If you would like to chat with me or with each other about the series, feel free to go into the comment section below or on our Discord. I have a link in the description. I love seeing your memes, fanfiction, fan art, and more. Anyways, thank you all once again for tuning in. The Joe's friend, your boy, Jump Like the One Only, logging out. Peace, chicken a bow wow.